Anyway, in the United States, the FedNow payment system launched, which is the beginning of the digital dollar. Yes, we are going headfirst into central bank digital currency. And on top of that, you might have heard about WorldCoin. So let's talk about that for a second, but just keep in mind, this is all an economic scam. Do not let politicians get you to believe that social credit scores, CBDCs, individual carbon taxes, carbon markets, and of course 24/7 biometric surveillance will change the climate. You'll just be entirely controlled and it will still be hot in the summer. So anyway, let's talk about WorldCoin. This is a digital identity crypto project co-founded by OpenAI's Sam Altman. It requires the user to scan their eyeball to create a unique digital identity. And I'm assuming that it's brought to you by the World Economic Forum. And well, it does seem that way. So the creator of this dystopian nightmare is Sam Altman, who is a proponent of digital identity and health passports. He's also a part of the World Economic Forum's Global Artificial Intelligence Council and part of the Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. So, are you starting to see the vision? And I quote, "Once they're able to link your biometrics to your fiat currency, they'll own you irreversibly forever. The sooner you understand this, the sooner you shall be free." End of quote. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. So, WorldCoin is in the process of onboarding hundreds of thousands of people. For example, here's a video of them scanning eyeballs in Barcelona. So yes, a new financial system connected to sensitive biometric information, mostly harvested from poor people. Sure sounds like a terrible idea, and well, terrible doesn't really do it justice. Yes, WorldCoin will need to assemble a vast database of iris data. However, not everyone is eager to gaze into the orb. And so WorldCoin turned to the global south, home to the cheapest eyeballs, and played a dark game of what will people do for money. And as it turns out, people will do incredibly stupid things for cash. Who could have seen that coming? So, as a prize for offering up your biometric data, they were offering a coupon for free French fries, a $10 rebate on store purchases, and even a chance to win a shiny new car. And you know, this is just as bad as New York City offering free cheeseburgers in exchange for getting the vaccine. It's crazy. However, I would like to make a prediction. Once they run out of steam and can't get any more dummies to scan their eyeballs, giving up their biometric data for a damn $10 rebate or free French fries from the food court, well, once that plan runs its course, my prediction is that they're going to merge with Meta. You know, Facebook. Now, the reason I say that is because Meta has one of the most extensive facial recognition databases via the Tag Your Friends feature on Facebook. Yes, they're going to try to get you hooked onto a unique digital ID, one way or another.
I'm going to get you. I don't know how, but I'm going to get you. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But seriously, social media tied to financial accounts might be the avenue. Which, by the way, is already happening to a lot of content creators, so, oh shit. Yes, that's right, accept your universal basic income, don't forget to tag your friends, and enjoy the new normal completely controlled. Anyway, my point here is that linking immutable biometric traits to money could have dystopian consequences. So just imagine that your digital identity has been lost in some way, shut down by authorities for non-compliance, or otherwise blocked. And so when your immutable digital identity is locked, imagine merchants who won't take your coins from you without a digital signature announcing your world ID. Well, if that's the case, then it's over. No old accounts, no new accounts, no soup for you. Yes, that's right, as far as society is concerned, you do not exist. What a dystopian premise. So the main takeaway is that WorldCoin is not a new radical financial system, and it certainly is not aimed at equality or fairness. Yes, it is just more of the same. However, this time it comes with a little bit more data harvesting. So there is one way that Sam Altman and Yuval Harari are very similar. Well, they both speak out of both sides of their mouth. This is the Hegelian dialectic at its extreme. WorldCoin is just another example of the same scheme. Just trust us, they say, as you peer into the shiny orb. And so, in short, do not trust them and do not stare into the orb. I mean, it's all just so very crazy. With your biometric data tied to your financial account, and as your online behavior is monitored, very soon governments and international corporations will be dictating what you can and cannot purchase. You're also going to have to contend with alternative credit scoring, which simply means if you're a good little sheep, well, that's going to be the bedrock to their new predatory financial system. Comply with the government or starve. Oh, yeah, that's going to be the rule of the land. And so, as I watch videos of these people stand in line to stare into the orb, I wonder if this thought ever entered their mind. Will people really voluntarily give up their own freedom? Or perhaps they've been tricked into it. I often wonder, have they been pulled into a deep sleep by a corporate lullaby and a promise of a new world? Well, if that is the case, then I guess I should say that I wish you well. I really do hope you enjoy sleepwalking through the digital wasteland, with each step compelled by the pull of your puppet strings. But I will not be joining you, that much I know for sure. I really just wish people would think a little bit deeper about this stuff. Once your quote-unquote alternative credit score is derived from compliance with government measures, once the currency is programmable, determining what you can and cannot buy, and of course, with the 24/7 surveillance grid being unveiled, once that comes to fruition, they got you, forever and always. A trap we set ourselves, and the bait was always convenience. Welcome to hell. And so, just to finish up, always remember that the economic plan and climate messaging are connected, a point that I'm really going to try to hammer home. So, just in case you didn't realize or try to scare you, UN Secretary Antonio Guterres rolled out some of his most apocalyptic climate rhetoric to date, declaring, and I quote, "The era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived," end of quote.
And for scientists, it is unequivocal. Humans are to blame. All this is entirely consistent with predictions and repeated warnings. The only surprise is the speed of the change. Climate change is here, it is terrifying, and it is just the beginning. The era of global warming has ended, the era of global boiling has arrived. The air is unbreathable, the heat is unbearable, and the level of fossil fuel profits and climate inaction is unacceptable. Leaders must lead.
Yes, that's right. Be afraid. Be very, very afraid. I mean, the fear propaganda is used for a reason. As far as I know, the Tavistock Institute was one of the first organizations studying what fear does to decision making. Just remember, they've done extensive studies on what makes you tick and how to exploit that. And so, with the fires in Hawaii, and just in general, a lot of fires have been popping up around the entire world, well, I have a lot of questions, but we're not going to get into that right now. But I just want to say, your questions about this situation are very, very justified. A lot of very strange things are happening, and moving forward, as we get closer to 2030, they are going to use these disasters to push the climate change agenda. Now, could it be a never let a good crisis go to waste? Yeah, sure. However, as I said, there are a lot of questions that should be asked. Lots of strange things happened. And as we get closer to 2030, this fear messaging is going to ramp up to levels that we have yet to imagine. The fact is, the United Nations is capitalizing on summer temperatures to ratchet up the global warming rhetoric. All of this is a charade, designed to drive the world into technocracy. And, from an outside perspective, it does kind of seem like it's failing. Just please, for the love of God, remember, carbon taxes and social credit scores are not going to change the climate. It's an economic scam that's only going to result in you being totally controlled via programmable money and biometric surveillance. Do not fall for it. If you want to complain that the current US system is unfair and that wealth is concentrated into the top 1%, well, give them this much control and see what happens. You are going to regret it with every fiber of your being. One of the most hypocritical aspects to this brilliant plan of theirs is carbon offsetting. Rich people can pay a fee for the carbon they emit, and because of that, not only will they claim to be helping, but they can also just live as they are now. And normal people like you and me, well, they want us to live with the restrictions and stick to our 15-minute cities. You should not let them get away with this. All it is feudalism for the new age. This whole agenda is underpinned and predicated on the idea that humans are nothing more than biological machines. Machines that can be hacked, altered, and changed. To them, there are no moral qualms because things such as the soul do not exist. And really, from that baseline, nothing good is going to come out of it. Once again, this is HelioWave. If you like the content, like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you want to. If you're in a position to, consider subscribing on Locals or Subscribestar. As always, make sure you disobey those true fascistas, and yes, I do hope you have a good night.